Hello everybody, this is my Bris 12.5-foot inflatable boat and custom trailer that I made. I just thought right here, since we're about ready to pack it up for the winter time, I thought I would just go over it, show it to everybody, since it's not something you see a lot here on YouTube, so I thought I would just cover it. Let me get the cover off of it, and then I'll show you what little details I've done to it and the trailer. This is the boat uncovered. As you can see, that's a Canopy. The things that we suggest, this boat is pretty stock. To tell you the truth, the only thing that's really been added to it is I added that canopy on top. It's a 3-position canopy or a 3-pole canopy. You could do a 4-pole on this boat. It might be a little big, but you could do you could do it. When doing a canopy on this type of boat, what I really suggest is something with some sides on it. Either something with sides you can add to it, or something with something with filtering sides on it, because the sun really does like to come in from the side a lot of times and hit you right in the side of the face. Some of the things I've added to this, other than the canopy, is I added a couple of these mounts to each side. Just simple things I got on Amazon. I'll find them on Amazon and link them in the description of the video. I also added this seat cover right here, which is nice. I also added that net right there, which is just a trunk cargo net for a car, which is great for just throwing things into to keep them from rolling around in the boat. And I also added this seat, which is for stadium seating, for if you're out, it's just for going to like football games, that sort of thing. It's supposed to wrap around and hook to a stadium seat, but it works just as fine for this. I'm not particularly fond of the seats they put in these things because they're really flexible. When you're sitting on them, they tend to wobble a lot, so you're not as secure as you'd like. I might this winter time make some boxes to put under it, but as I said at the start, I'm packing it away because where I live in Maine, winter is coming and there's no need to have an inflatable boat parked in your yard in the wintertime because you're not going to use it. This canopy was made specifically for inflatable boats. You can see it came with the mount pads right here that you glue on, which the other pads, unlike this one here, these are glued in place. The handles, everything else is basically, stock. The lower rings are stock. I may add a couple of more rings to it on each side and in the back, just because the more places you have to attach things, the better. Right now, the motor I have on this is a 3.5 horsepower motor that I just got off of eBay. It's a El Cheapo, I think it was $100. It works enough to putter it around on a small lake, but it is not going to get you anywhere fast, but it does work. That's the thing, it does work. If you're going to leave it parked all the time, my suggestion, of course, would be make sure you have a cover for it to keep all the stuff out of it, because the keel on these is below the floor and it is open. So when the keel is inflated, it's just like an open bathtub under there. So you do need to either keep the boat covered, or you need to keep it propped up so that water can drain out from underneath in the keel. You can also be like I did and make the mistake that you always keep forgetting to put the drain plug in the back, which I always kept forgetting to do. I always take it out, put it in the water, and forget the drain plug, and then put the drain plug in once it's in the water, which is a big oopsie doopsie. But with these big tubes on here, this thing will float regardless. So I just stick it in and we go motoring about anyway. Now, let me explain this trailer. This is a trailer I got from Tractor Supply. It is a bolt together trailer. I forget who manufactures it at the moment, but I'll include it in the description of the video. The things that have been done to it is, of course, I've added these bunks. These are pressure treated 2x8, 8-foot long boards that I've wrapped in outdoor carpet and then just use stainless steel staples to staple them on. I replaced the tongue, or the front piece here, this front bar. I added, I just went to my local steel supplier and got a bar that was 2 foot longer and solid steel, or not solid steel, it's still tubular steel, but instead of being shaped like a C, like what it comes with, it is just a solid square tube, and it is 2 foot longer. I used their coupler on the end. I added this 1,000-pound wheel jack and this piece here, the winch, the 1,000-pound winch, just to hold it in place. I've never had to use it to pull the boat on because it's so light when it's in the water. You can just pull it up, right up onto the bunks, and you just hook it on there to, you know, pull it right up where you need it. And then I hook this line on it and then pull it out of the water, and it's perfectly fine. Pull the trailer and everything straight out of the water. The tubes, or this piece here, what this is these are just steel 1-inch square tubing. They're perforated. They have just, the holes are already pre-drilled. These holes that are in here, I believe I had to open them up. They were already existing, such as the holes that are back here. They're for side markers, or I'm not sure what they were for. Oh, they were for, this trailer was originally a utility trailer, and you can add pieces to the side of it to hold like vertical 2x4s and that. I just opened them up a little bit, put 1/4-inch bolts through them to hold these uprights, and then underneath it's just another piece of upright that's used a carriage bolt to hold to the 2x8. That seems to hold it really well. These things, you can stand on them. They're plenty strong enough. There's one at the front, one at the back. The ones at the back, I did add a piece of angle just to give it a little more stability for twisting, for the piece to twist, just to make sure it stays where I need it to stay. I didn't experience any of that when I was testing it, but you know, peace of mind sometimes wins out. The lights are waterproof, got them on Amazon, no big deal. Just, you know, they're in and out of the water whenever you're towing this thing. One thing I will suggest when you're buying one of these trailers and you're going to do something like this is make sure you get the one with the smallest wheels you can find. Right, this one has 8-inch tires on it, which are perfect. If you get the 12-inch tire, you got, you know, it's, the whole trailer is going to be that much taller and that much further into the water you have to go. If you're handy and you're capable enough, my suggestion would be if you could realign the whole axle, move it back to the back or closer to the back, you know, move it back to basically right here. If you can move the whole axle back that way, or back another foot or 1.5 feet, more like a boat trailer would be, it would probably be easier to get in and out of the water with it, because it would just be that, you know, it would be in the water that much sooner. Lucky for me, it's not really been a problem, but it is a suggestion if you're capable of doing that, or if your boat launches in your area are typically shallow and you don't want to have to drive your car or truck or whatever into the water too far. If you can move the axle back, move it back. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward. I think the biggest thing is, you know, the bunks. These bunks are just up over the wheels. You could, in theory, if you needed it to be lower, you could take the fenders off and lower it down. But I would caution against that, because the keel on that boat right there, which is right at the moment, is deflated. But when the keel is fully inflated, the clearance between the keel and this rung that it sits above is only about an inch, maybe an inch and a half at the most. So you want to keep that in mind. If you lower it down, you may have to deflate the keel just to be able to use the boat, just to get it onto the trailer. So, keep that in mind, or you may have to alter this brace, which, I wouldn't recommend doing, because, they usually make these things very limited. They're designed to do exactly what they're designed to do, and they cut all the corners that they possibly can. That's how they keep the cost down on them. I think the trailer itself was about $800. Comes as a kit. The added bits on the front here is probably another 40 or 50 bucks. The bar, I think I paid $10 for. I had to supply her all the extra nuts and bolts that I needed. Maybe another $10, $15. All the bunks and everything, you're probably looking at another $100 to get all that mounted on and hooked up. One thing that what I did do when I ordered this from Tractor Supply is I noticed that if you had it shipped to your house, at the time they were charging shipping to send it to your home, but if you went to the store, it was free shipping to the store. So I had mine shipped to the store and just went and picked it up in my truck. Saved almost $300 in shipping just to have it sent to the store instead of to me. And it comes with everything except for, there's no trailer jack. Of course, there's no winch. It comes with the lights. Doesn't come with anything, no waterproof lights, but it comes with wiring and just normal lights. The axles, I have not had to do anything to the axles. I checked them. They were greased when I got them. They worked fine. Once I pack this trailer away for the wintertime, I will probably actually, in the next spring, I will pull the caps off, take it apart, and grease them with marine bearing grease just to get it through the next summer, because we plan on using it once every couple of weeks next summer. And that's it. I mean, that's the trailer. It's pretty straightforward. You could actually do a little more if you wanted to. You could make these bars, the bars there, a little longer, a little shorter, depending on what your needs are, what kind of trailer you have, or the size of your boat. I wanted mine to sit back a little farther because that boat has a nose on it. And so I didn't need, you want to look at your boat and see where the tubes were actually contacted, because you don't need any support where there's not going to be. At some point, I am going to make a piece in the front here that goes across the front to support the nose of the boat when it's on the trailer. I don't think it's really necessary, but it's just a peace of mind kind of situation. So if I'm on something that's on a road that's rough and it's bouncing, it will help keep the nose of the boat from bouncing around too much. I do put a strap on the back of the boat to hold it onto the trailer, so I don't think it's going to really bounce around and come flying off the trailer unless it somehow manages to break the strap. And I pulled that off the trailer myself. It only weighs, I think, roughly around 100 pounds or so, fully inflated. So not that big of a problem to move it around by yourself. A lot of people had issues with theirs, with these types of boats, not having enough tongue weight. That's why I made mine longer. I added this longer tongue, or added this longer piece in the front, another 2 foot out here, just so I could pull the boat up farther on the trailer. And it tows fine. I've had it up to 55 miles an hour and had zero issue with it wobbling or doing anything. The canopy I usually have on the front, which is over there on the ground right now, it has a cover, and I have it bungee corded down onto the boat so it doesn't want to come up or move or anything. And I've never had any problems with towing this boat. So if you have any questions or comments, make sure you leave them below. And thanks for watching.